I knew I wanted to be a lawyer, and I worked hard to be a lawyer. The company secretary's fiduciary duties are more or less like the fiduciary duties of the board.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
From there, I went to school, secondary school, my high school. Primary or high school?
Primary school.
Primary school was a school in Western Kenya called Misihu Girls.
Yes.
So passed my exams and I was called to Loreto Limuru. I was in Loreto Limuru for 6 years.
Form 1 to Form 6.
Yes, so I did Form 1 to 4, passed, went back to Form 5 for Form 5 and 6. Amazing place, loved the nuns. Of course, they had their rules. And you know how nuns are, eh? So had their rules and all. I remember when we had like innings, being a Busherian, you knew about the innings, eh?
Yes.
So we would have maybe the boys come in, bush or patch or, lenana, so on and so forth. And the nuns will be there supervising the dances. You're not to dance too close.
They are Chinese walls.
They're Chinese walls.
As we call them.
Don't get too close,
Well, during COVID, you used to say how many feet?
I don't know, 5 feet or whatever it was.
Yeah, 2 meters.
Yes, 2 meters.
It was supposed to be 1.5 or 2 meters.
Absolutely.
So the nuns used to enforce that long before COVID.
They used to enforce that. It was amazing. It built us up. The school really built us up as people. Values, drilled in us values, but at the same time taught us the value of hard work. Yeah. So worked hard and was called to law school. Yeah. And I became a lawyer.
Now, let me ask you, was law school your choice or how did you actually end up doing law? Because a lot of people ask, okay, so how do I get into the law program to become a lawyer? So was it by choice or how did that happen?
Okay. So law school was my choice. And it became my choice because remember I said I used to follow my father around and I would take his minutes.
And you are the minute taker.
I was the minute taker. And I was told in school that lawyers make very good company secretaries. So right from Form 1, I wanted to be a lawyer.
You knew you wanted to be a lawyer.
I knew I wanted to be a lawyer, and I worked hard to be a lawyer. In fact, I really wanted to be a lawyer so badly that in my own view, I did not put in effort in the science classes.
Because you knew what you wanted.
Because I knew what I wanted. I'm like, you're wasting time.
Engineer,
Maths,
doctor,
no.
You are not interested.
So I remember this one time, my maths teacher, he was called Mr. Sewe. I think he knew my potential, but he knew I had a mental block or something against maths. Law. Yeah. So he gets these sharp girls in school and he decides, Catherine, you're going to join that group. You know those focus groups, discussion groups. I'm like, maths, these girls ace it in maths. Why are you putting me there? I know what you're capable of. I thank God for that because it pulled me and made sure that I also performed well in maths. I also did well in the sciences, but I really wanted to become a lawyer. So I chose law as the first program, and luckily I got it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it is actually true that even when you look at the performance of even our children in school, we always say that success is mostly the mindset. It's how you view, because that also, it shapes the way you think about the effort you put and the confidence in your ability. Absolutely. So that's what you are telling me happened.
Absolutely, because I chemistry, physics, I could do them, but I had this block because I was so focused on this.
Yes, and
so when I was put, like the tea bag, you put in hot water, and you then come out. The taste comes out. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So now you've gone to the law school, to the law class. Tell us about that. How was life in the law school?
Well, we were the first class in Parklands, because before before that, law used to be at main campus.
In the main campus
Main
of
campus.
the University of Nairobi.
University of Nairobi.
Yes.
So we were the first group that went to Parklands.
You know, you were one class behind us.
Yes.
Because us we went to Parklands in second year. And you guys went to first year.
First year, absolutely.
Yeah,
so the girls, there were hostels. I remember it was a government secretarial training college. Yeah? So they had hostels there. But I didn't want to stay in campus.
Why?
I didn't want to stay in
Parklands.
Parklands. I wanted to stay in the University of Nairobi.
The university, main campus. You are in box?
Yes.
Oh,
so
okay.
It didn't sound like
a
University of Nairobi.
Yeah?
So I wanted to stay in campus. I mean, in main campus. So I chose to stay in box. And you know, I remember the mornings. Of course, there was a bus that would take us to campus, to Parklands every day. Yes. But I chose not to take the bus because I just wanted to savor the University of Nairobi. So I would walk from Box all the way through Chiromo to Parklands. It was nice. Up to museum, so on and so forth. And we were really tight with my classmates. I know that you know our classmates. We still are very tight.
Very close.
In fact, we keep on saying that your savings group was borrowed from us, although you took it.
Oh, MV90. MV90 was our creation.
We keep saying it was ours.
We
stole the idea.
We stole from you. And then we ran with it. We executed.
You executed. We are still at the execution stage, but we will get there.
Wow, wonderful.
So we had great classmates, still bonded very well. So we would walk, most of us, across. Some of us got married to each other.
Yes.
Some of us just remained friends. We had amazing lecturers at the University of Nairobi. I still remember the Ghanaian, Mr. Achengpong. I remember this time Achengpong made me go to his office. And you know what? It's because we were making fun of him. It wasn't very nice. We were not making fun of him. We were making fun of one other classmate. And he caught us laughing.
Wow.
And he thought that we were laughing at him. So he made us go.
Some mischief.
So he made us go to his office. And he asked us what it was. That is a lesson that I use up to today. When you're attending a board meeting, don't get into side shows.
Yes.
Don't get into side conversations. Focus on the agenda.
Yes.
Because the chair there doesn't know what you're talking about. When you're passing notes, the chair thinks you're passing a note about him.
Yes.
That's what Achengpong thought.
Taught you. Yeah, it was
He thought that was what we were doing. But we were just laughing about something else.
Yes.
So it was amazing. He took offense, amazing, from law school on to, from University of Nairobi to law school. Again, we came into the current dental school.
For School of Law.
School of Law.
Yeah, the Council of Legal Training.
Absolutely. And I think, again, we were the first class there.
Yes. Wow.
It was amazing.
It was amazing.
Yes.
Now, tell me, because now you talked about having that dream and wanting to become the company secretary. I'm not sure. Did you really understand what it meant to be a company secretary at that time?
Yeah.
But I also realized, I served as company secretary for 15 years.
Yes, I know.
And what shocked me, after serving 15 years, and I'm thinking, wow, I'm in this elevated position in a big bank, only to realize that some people thought company secretary was, that person who takes the calls in the office, answers the calls, and books
shorthand
appointments, and does shorthand typing for the boss. That's what I realized after I had left the role.
What?
So please, can you explain to us
what
a company secretary does? What does that role entail?
Mary, you're absolutely right. And that is the reason why ICS, the Institute for Certified Secretaries, also had to focus on. Remember, I became chair of the Institute at some point.
Yes.
And I realized that the public out here thinks that that is what a company secretary does.
Yes.
Even taking minutes. is not really the biggest role of the company secretary. So what does a company secretary do? A company secretary is that advisor for the board. The to-go-to person in matters governance to the board. The person that the board members turn to when they need clarity on a certain issue, on governance matters. Yes, a big part of the role involves you preparing for the meetings, ensuring that the board members have all they need in order to make those critical decisions. But the company secretary walks around in the mind of the board member. In other words, you go to management and say, you want the budget approved. These are the questions that the board is going to ask. So can you make sure you address them in these papers? Yeah, you prepare them so that the papers that you're handing over to the board are papers that they can use. So you're more or less like a board member without the title of a board member.
An advisor.
You're an advisor to the board. You are a servant of the board. You report directly to the board. You may have an administrative line to the CEO, but the solid line is to the
chairman of the board.
Absolutely.
And also ensure at all times the board is compliant with any regulations that they need to be aware of, and you're putting them on the straight line when necessary. Isn't it also true that it is the company secretary, are they a member of the board, technically speaking?
You know, and that's a question that has come up several times. Strictly speaking, they're not a member of the board. They are a servant of the board. But when you look at the law, the company secretary's fiduciary duties are more or less like the fiduciary duties of the board. Exactly. The same. And in fact, when you look at the law, most of the time it says, when it refers to the officers of the company, they're referring to the company secretary. So that is how I would look at it.
Wow, wonderful. So now you've gone to the School of Law.
Yes.
And I imagine you got admitted.
Yes.
As an advocate, and you got that. Did we call it a diploma in law or something? Very prestigious.
Very prestigious. But you know, the worst for me was trust accounts. Did you like trust accounts?
I loved it. I love trust accounting. Actually, do you know I was the teacher?
Where?
So my classmates used to come. We used to sit out there in the grass. And then now things are so tough for them. Me, I'm just doing debit, credit. And I used to show them, when you do credit on this side, you do debit on this side. The two have to balance. So I used to be their teacher.